Welcome, Dungeon Master. Have you ever found your players taking the story in completely unexpected directions? If so, you're not alone. In today's video, we're going to explore the art of flexibility and how to make the most of player input in your D&D campaigns. Creating a dynamic and engaging campaign isn't just about having the perfect plan. It's about being ready to adapt and evolve as the story unfolds. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to turn unexpected player decisions into opportunities for richer storytelling and how to keep your world feeling alive and responsive. These videos take time and effort to produce, and your support really makes a difference. If you find this content helpful, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing it with your fellow Dungeon Masters. And don't forget, I'm giving away a free Session 0 guide, packed with tips to help you set the stage for your campaign. The link is in the description below. Now, let's dive into how you can adapt to player decisions, encourage their contributions, and create a world that evolves with them. Let's start with one of the most important aspects of being a flexible Dungeon Master: adapting to your players' decisions and actions. No matter how well you plan, your players are bound to surprise you. When players make choices that diverge from your planned storyline, it's easy to feel like things are going off the rails. But remember, these moments are opportunities to create a more engaging and personalized story. By being flexible and rolling with their decisions, you allow the story to evolve in ways you might never have imagined. Instead of trying to steer players back to your original plan, embrace the new direction. This not only makes the game more interesting for them, but it also challenges you to think creatively and adapt on the fly. If your players decide to ally with a villain instead of fighting them, consider how this changes the dynamics of your story. What new conflicts or alliances could this choice create? One of the keys to keeping players engaged is to make their decisions matter. When they see the world change as a result of their actions, it reinforces the idea that they have a real impact on the story. Ensure that player decisions have meaningful consequences, both positive and negative. This gives weight to their choices and encourages thoughtful decision-making. If the players choose to destroy an artifact that's causing a plague, what unforeseen consequences might arise? Perhaps destroying it releases a powerful entity that was trapped inside, leading to a new set of challenges. Reward creative solutions to problems. When players think outside the box and come up with unexpected plans, acknowledge their ingenuity and adjust the story accordingly. If the players find a way to stabilize the artifact's power instead of destroying it, perhaps they gain a valuable tool or ally, but at the cost of attracting unwanted attention from rival factions. Finally, it's important to keep the story moving, even when players take unexpected actions. Be ready to pivot and introduce new challenges or opportunities that align with their choices, ensuring that the game's momentum doesn't stall. Prepare to transition smoothly between planned events and new developments. This keeps the game's pace smooth and prevents downtime. If the players avoid a planned combat encounter by negotiating with the enemy, introduce a new threat or dilemma that ties into their decision, keeping the tension high. The more you practice adapting on the fly, the more comfortable you'll become with improvisation. Over time, you'll find that these unplanned moments often lead to some of the most memorable experiences in your campaign. By adapting to player decisions, making their choices matter, and keeping the story moving, you create a dynamic and engaging experience that makes your players feel like true co-creators of the adventure. Next, let's talk about the power of player contributions. When players have a hand in shaping the world around them, it fosters a deeper connection to the story and makes the game more immersive for everyone. Encouraging your players to contribute to the world-building process can transform your campaign into a collaborative storytelling experience. By giving them the opportunity to shape the setting, introduce new elements, or flesh out the details of their backstories, you create a more personalized and engaging world. Invite players to develop their characters' backstories so you can weave them into the world. This not only gives their characters more depth, but also provides you with new plot hooks and storylines to explore. A player might create a character who is part of a secret organization, You can use this detail to introduce new quests, allies, or enemies related to that organization. Encourage players to suggest locations, factions, or cultural elements that fit within the established world. This makes the setting feel more dynamic and inclusive. Perhaps a player suggests a mysterious island that their character has heard tales of. You can incorporate this island into the campaign as a future adventure location, adding layers to the world's lore. Empower your players by giving them moments where their decisions and contributions directly shape the story. This not only makes them feel more invested, but also adds unpredictability and excitement to the game. Let players take the lead in certain story arcs, particularly those tied to their characters' backgrounds or goals. This makes the story feel more personal and meaningful. If a character is seeking revenge on a past enemy, allow that storyline to unfold based on the player's actions and decisions, with consequences that ripple throughout the campaign. As players contribute to the world, let their actions have lasting effects. This could mean establishing new settlements, altering political dynamics, or changing the environment. If the players help a small village defend against raiders, allow that village to grow and prosper over time, becoming a key location in the campaign. While player contributions are valuable, it's important to balance their ideas with the overall narrative you've planned. This ensures that the story remains cohesive and that all players feel included in the evolving world. Incorporate player contributions in ways that align with the established lore and plot. This keeps the story on track while still honoring their creative input. If a player introduces a new deity or religion, find a way to integrate it into the world's existing pantheon or cultural landscape, making it a natural fit. Make sure that all players have the opportunity to contribute, so everyone feels like they have a stake in the world. Rotate the spotlight to give each character moments of influence. If one player designs a faction, another might create a rival group, leading to a rich and complex web of relationships and conflicts. By encouraging your players to contribute to the world-building process, you foster a collaborative storytelling environment where everyone feels invested in the adventure. This not only deepens the player's connection to the world, but also leads to a richer, more dynamic campaign. Finally, let's explore how to keep your world dynamic and evolving. A world that responds to the player's actions not only feels more alive, but also keeps them engaged and curious about what will happen next. One of the most effective ways to keep your world dynamic is to ensure that it responds to the actions of the players. Every decision they make, big or small, should have some impact on the world around them. Let the players see the immediate effects of their actions, whether it's the outcome of a battle or the result of a political maneuver. Showing these consequences reinforces the idea that their choices matter. This should both thrill and scare your players. Their character's action determine what happens. If the players save a town from a marauding band of orcs, show the town rebuilding and perhaps honoring the players with a statue or festival in their name. The players might even decide to put down roots in the town and make it their base of operations. Beyond immediate consequences, consider the long-term effects of player actions. These can create new plotlines or challenges that unfold over several sessions. If the players decide to spare a powerful enemy, that enemy might return later with a vendetta, or they might undergo a change of heart and become a valuable ally. To keep your world feeling fresh and alive, evolve the storylines and world events as the campaign progresses. This keeps the narrative moving forward and ensures that the world doesn't feel static. Allow story arcs to evolve based on the players' decisions. This could mean shifting the focus of the campaign, introducing new threats, or changing the direction of the main plot. If the players eliminate a major villain early on, don't let that end the story. Instead, introduce a power struggle among the villain's lieutenants, or reveal that the villain was just a pawn in a larger scheme. Introduce world events that change the landscape of the campaign, such as natural disasters, political upheaval, or the rise of new factions. These events can be influenced by player actions or happen independently, adding to the world's complexity. Perhaps the artifact causing the plague has side effects that trigger natural disasters or attract the attention of distant kingdoms, leading to new quests and alliances. Keeping your world dynamic and evolving is key to maintaining player engagement. When the players see that the world is changing in response to their actions, they become more invested in the story and more eager to see what happens next. Introduce elements of unpredictability to keep the players on their toes. This could be unexpected consequences of their actions or world events that catch them off guard. Just as the players think they've stabilized the artifact, a rival faction might launch a surprise attack to claim it, forcing the players to defend their hard-won prize. Encourage players to drive changes in the world themselves. Whether it's through establishing a stronghold, founding a new faction, or influencing a political outcome, giving them the power to shape the world keeps them engaged. If the players decide to build a stronghold, allow them to see the benefits and challenges that come with it, like defending it from enemies or managing its resources. By keeping your world dynamic and responsive to player actions, you create a living, breathing setting that your players will want to explore and interact with. This not only enhances their immersion, but also ensures that your campaign remains fresh and exciting, session after session. Congratulations, Dungeon Master! You've now got a solid foundation for keeping your world dynamic and responsive, while encouraging player contributions and adapting to their decisions. But remember, this is just one piece of the puzzle when it comes to world building. In our previous videos, we've explored key aspects of world building, from creating immersive geography and maps, to developing rich cultures and civilizations, to crafting intricate history and lore, and establishing powerful factions and power structures. Each of these elements plays a crucial role in making your world feel alive and engaging. All of these aspects, geography, cultures, history, factions, and now, flexibility and player input, come together to form the intricate tapestry of your world. When combined, they create a setting that is not only deep and rich, but also responsive to the actions and choices of your players. As you develop your world, think about how each element interacts with the others. How do the cultures and history influence the factions? How does the geography shape the conflicts? How does player input drive the evolution of the world? Building a world for your campaign is a complex but incredibly rewarding process. By integrating all these elements and allowing your players to contribute to the story, you create a campaign that's not only immersive, but also uniquely tailored to your group. Each decision, each contribution, adds another layer to the world, making it richer and more dynamic. Remember, the most memorable campaigns are those built in collaboration with your players. By being flexible, encouraging their input, and keeping the world dynamic, you ensure that everyone at the table feels like they're part of something special. If you haven't already, I highly recommend checking out our other world-building videos. Together, they provide a comprehensive guide to creating your own D&D world, one that is rich, immersive, and full of adventure. Thank you for joining me on this journey through world building. If you found this video helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe for more Dungeon Master tips and guides. And don't forget, you can still get your free Session 0 guide, packed with everything you need to kickstart your campaign and set the foundation for your adventures. The link is in the description below. Happy world building, Dungeon Master. Until next time, may your campaigns be legendary and your worlds unforgettable.